G'day there guys, man in a floral shirt here to haunt your nightmares, back again with another episode of r/Am I the A-hole. Now if you think anyone is the a-hole in today's episode, I want you to let me know down in the comments. Sit back, relax, chuck a prawn on the barbie, and have a bloody good one. Posted by user, Am I the A-hole? No More Courtship. Titled, Am I the a-hole for telling my parents to stop hooking me up with single girls from their church? Am I the a-hole for not wanting to get married? The last year and a half has been hard for me, to say the least. Last March, my brilliant and hilarious beautiful girlfriend, Natalie, suddenly passed away. Everyone always gave crap about us because of politics. We met in college when we were poli-sci majors. She's very liberal, think AOC, and I'm pretty conservative. We actually met because we were serving as treasurers for our school's college Democrats and Young Republican clubs, respectively, and our groups would get together for drinks or bowling or laser tag once a month. Well, Natalie and I bonded over a lot of shared interests and we hit it off. Even if we didn't see eye to eye on many issues, debating her was stimulating and formed the cornerstone of our relationship. We've had debates that went on till dawn. We just bounced off of each other, and she liked to joke that we were drift compatible. I wanted to marry this woman, but she passed away before we got a chance to talk about marriage. I'm in therapy and I'm working through not having her in my life anymore. But it's been rough. Then Rona happened and I got laid off, so I had to move back in with my parents and figure out what I'm supposed to do now. My parents mean well, but they got married really young and are more conservative and religious than me. They've been trying to set me up on dates with single girls from their church since I moved back home. But I don't want to date these girls. No offense to them, but it's a small town in the American breadbasket. They don't share the same interests as me, and it feels like their only goal in life is to be a good Christian wife and produce a lot of babies. Trying to talk to them about current events is excruciating for me. The girls my parents tried to set me up with take everything they read on Facebook or hear from Fox News at face value. It makes me miss Natalie and our debates more. My parents mean well. I know they want me to find a nice girl and settle down with her, but not like this. They are nothing like Natalie and never will be. I miss her, even if my folks didn't like her ideas. But when I told them the other night that I wanted them to stop setting me up on dates with these girls, they freaked out and told me that I needed to consider settling down since I just turned 30. They're good girls from great families, I know that, and my parents like them more than they liked Natalie, but she was my one and only. I don't think it's fair for anyone when I still love her. They are even more angry at me because I told them that I just don't see myself getting married anytime soon. But like I said, Natalie was my soulmate, and I just can't see myself being with anyone but her. Yet they are insisting that I need to find a woman and settle down and give them grandchildren. Edit, we were seriously close to talking about marriage, but around the time she died, it was more like, how funny would it be if the bridal party wore blue and the groomsmen wore red because the bride is a Democrat and the groom is a Republican/Romeo and Juliet deal. Phuh, I wish we got to do that. Natalie thought it was hilarious. Edit of the edit. Sweet Disney's Ghost. I'm ashamed to admit this, but I broke down when I saw all your responses. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. You're all great and wonderful people, and God will reward you for your kindness. Your support is overwhelming. I haven't felt this support in a very long time. I'm reading all of your comments. Thank you so much. I've been feeling so lost for a long time, and with the virus, it has been sending me into a tailspin. I'm saving this post so when I feel dark, I can come here and read your comments, and I know that even though we are strangers, we have each other's backs. And in this day and age, we need it more now than ever. God bless you all. Not the a-hole. I'm very sorry for your loss. Your parents should stop meddling and respect your grief. Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. If I lost my partner, it would absolutely destroy me. If you need to talk, feel free to shoot me a message. I hope, aside from the parents, you are managing alright. The therapy is helping. Not the a-hole. Even if you turn 50 and still single, they shouldn't try to make you date anyone. You're old enough to decide when and under what circumstances you will be ready to date again. I'm sorry for your loss, OP. It must have been devastating. P.S. Ask Natalie to send you the ideal girl for you. I know it sounds dumb, but sometimes it works. Maybe placebo, I'm not sure. I don't know if I will ever be ready to date again. I always imagined that Natalie and I will celebrate a milestone together, then argue over who is the better presidential candidate for election 2060. That's completely understandable. My point stands still. You're not an a-hole. Good luck and God bless you, OP. Thank you. It's okay to feel like you never want to date again. My brother lost the love of his life 4 years ago and it broke him. His room he shared with her didn't change for 4 years. It took at least 2 for him to kind of bounce back, go out with friends and whatnot. He just recently met a girl, my best friend oddly enough, and fell in love again. He's changed his room around, opened up his mind, and is now happy to have found her. Not the a-hole. Take all the time you need. Maybe one day you'll find another girl who will spark the flame in your heart. Posted by user Proud Holiday 8, titled, Am I the a-hole for child locking my aunt and then leaving her at a gas station? My 16 female aunt, 33 female, lives with my family. She has me drive her around and refuses to sit in the front passenger seat because she wants to act like it's a taxi/chauffeur situation, which is crappy of her, but I haven't said anything. The other day we were driving through a restaurant drive-thru and it was packed. The parking lot was full. My aunt got out of the car while we were in the drive-thru, and I asked what the hell she was doing. She told me she was getting claustrophobic, and I told her to stay in the car so she doesn't get hit by another car. My reasoning for saying this is she wanted to walk close to the actual road to smoke, where traffic's busy. You know, normal road. She, of course, ignored me and got out anyway. So when I pulled up to the drive-thru window, I got out and put child lock on the back doors. I did this because my aunt has done this several times before, has almost gotten hit when she does it, and once had her foot run over by a car because she does it. Which, by the way, she blamed on me, even though another car ran over her foot. I got our food, my auntie gets back in, we get on the main road, and it's a traffic jam. My aunt tries to get out of the car again, and finds that she's child-locked. She starts screaming and cussing at me, calling me a little motherfucker, and screaming at me to let her out. So when we could pull over again, I pulled over, let her out, and told her she could call someone else for a ride home. I left her at a gas station. I got home and my parents asked me where my aunt was. I explained what happened. My mum told me I was in the right and my dad flipped his crap. He told me to go out and pick her back up, and I told him to pick her up himself, because I'm done driving her around because she acts like a toddler. He decided it was appropriate to call me a spoiled tramp before leaving to pick her up. Am I the a-hole for locking my aunt and then leaving her at a gas station? Info. The traffic jam I mentioned. One lane stopped while the one right next to it kept moving. People were actively moving and getting into that lane that wasn't stopped. Also, no, my aunt doesn't have a mental disability. She's just been spoiled by her parents and my dad, and yes, she is my dad's sister. Also, my dad made a deal with me to get the car. I saved up $2,000 as a down payment for the car, and he'd made monthly payments of $200 to the guy we bought the car from. Or so he tells me. At this point in time, I have paid more for the car than he has, as I've only had it for 4 months. And yes, I work, or rather worked. I got laid off back when everything shut down. Second edit for info. I did not leave her stranded. She had her phone, and if she chose not to call someone, that's on her. Also, you know how some people go really fast in a residential neighborhood? Apply that to the restaurant's parking lots. People get really mad/fast in a Chick-fil-A parking lot for some reason. Also, again, I'm in America. We get our licenses at 16, and I'm almost 17. And yes, I paid for my own gas to drive dear auntie around. My dad, the one who calls me a spoiled tramp, raised me to not expect anything to just be handed to me. If I were out of gas on a back road, he would leave me there and tell me to figure it out. This is from experience. Not the a-hole. Who gets out of the car in the middle of a traffic jam? Don't drive her anymore. If she wants a chauffeur, she can hire one. In relation to this part of the story, You'd think after this she might have clued into the fact that her behaviour is a bad idea. I don't even understand the link between wanting to sit in the back and getting out of the car in the middle of traffic. Seems like they're two separate bizarre issues, and she thinks she's entitled to do whatever she wants, including treating her niece like a chauffeur and getting in and out of the car on the main road / in traffic as she pleases. Not the a-hole? To be honest, I laughed reading this. You left her in a safe place she wouldn't get her foot run over, lol. I see no problem. She's a grown adult, she can act it. Aunt starts smoking in the gas station and kablamo. Not the a-hole. She acts incredibly entitled. If I may ask, why do you go along with it and act as her driver? Because my dad, her brother, pays for my car, and because the other alternative is to sell her my car, though she can't afford to buy a car and my dad hasn't sold it yet. I'm even more confused now. Your dad paid for your car, so it's yours. Why would a car need to be sold? Do you have money troubles? If so, is your aunt effectively renting your car and paying money? If so, aren't you effectively an employee, seeing how your aunt is claiming your services as a driver? Sorry if I'm sticking my nose in too far here. Doors open, go as far as you want, Cobber. My car hasn't been fully paid off as far as I'm aware, and the car's really not under my name. It's under my dad's, and my aunt isn't renting the car. She just likes to act as if she is. Posted by user Tea Ceremony Am I the A-hole? Titled, Am I the A-hole for banning my parents from my wedding if they don't attend a tea ceremony? I'm 29 female, going to get married this September, if a certain unnamed virus lets us. For important context, I am white, but my fiancé is Chinese American, 31 male. I'm going to admit that I'm one of those girls who has been planning her dream wedding since I was a girl. My husband doesn't care as much and told me that I could plan the entire thing to my heart's content, with one caveat. There is an important Chinese tea ceremony wherein the bride and groom make tea for both sets of parents, and then the parents give them gifts. It's incredibly important to him, and the only thing he wants on our wedding day. Okay, he also consulted on the food, and he wants to marry me, lol. He's been planning that, which will happen shortly before the wedding, and will be a smaller ceremony with only family and very close friends. Today, while Zooming with my parents said they found the whole ritual absurd and stupid, and that she was going to skip it. Well, considering they're an integral part of it, that doesn't work for me. They couldn't even explain why they thought the ritual was stupid, just that it was. I basically told them that if they skipped the tea ceremony, they should skip the wedding as well. That led to a lot of crying and arguments, and now my parents aren't talking to me, and my sister have sent me texts about how irrational I'm being, how I'm being cruel, and how I'm being a bridezilla. But this is important to my future husband, so it's important to me. It's the only thing he really insisted upon for this wedding, but they are my parents, and I want them to beat my wedding. Am I the a-hole? Not the a-hole. I have a feeling the whole thing will be a lot more pleasant without their racist asses there. Edit, thanks for the awards, as well for the 100 plus messages saying, that's not racist. A pleasure as always, Reddit. Yep, hold your ground. Good for you for supporting your future husband on something that matters to him. That's what I was thinking. The marriage is off to a good start, even if the in-laws are terrible. Not the a-hole. That ceremony is a big deal in Chinese culture, and your parents skipping it or mocking it would be way out of line. Have they expressed any issues besides this in regard to you marrying outside your race? Maybe this is a symptom of a bigger issue. Honestly, taking out the cultural significance somehow makes this even more screwed up. On a practical level, all she's asking of her parents is for them to come over and drink some tea that they're making for them. Imagine any scenario where you invite your parents over for tea and they just adamantly refuse because they think it's stupid. Like, literally all that's being asked of you is to spend some time with your daughter and son-in-law while drinking tea. How is that silly or stupid, or whatever other insult they want to throw out at it? I suspect the cultural significance is the whole reason they don't want to go. If it wasn't a ritual from another culture, and really was just drinking tea, I doubt they'd have a problem with it. Posted by user OtherSound6, titled, "Am I the a-hole for throwing out the food that my son makes?" My 16-year-old son started getting into baking and cooking. He really enjoys it, and some of the stuff he makes looks delicious, and he comes up with funny names. He proudly posts pictures of his dishes on his social media. I tell him that I take his culinary creations for lunch and/or leave it for my coworkers who gobble it up. The truth is that I throw it out on my way to work because everything he makes tastes terrible. For example, he made an emotional support coffee cake last night. That's basically coffee cake with guacamole. Don't ask me why, because I don't know. The only reason why I don't say anything is because he cleans the kitchen while waiting for his stuff to finish. Edit, I don't know how to cook and don't have the time to learn. Edit, why is everyone assuming that I'm the mum? Edit, he doesn't cook to eat, he cooks for fun and for others, and he eats like a bird, so no, he doesn't really try his own stuff. What is going on in this post? You're the a-hole. He's old enough for constructive criticism. If you don't like his cooking, tell him so he can make changes. It would be doing him a favor if his cooking is that bad. Additionally, he worked hard on his creations, so you're an a-hole for lying, not for the fact that you don't find his food tasty. For what it's worth though, has anyone else tasted his food and expressed that they don't like it? Does he try his cooking and enjoy the taste? That's been answered. Everyone enjoys different things, so if others find his cooking delicious, why don't you find a safe way to share it instead of wasting it? Additionally, you may want to suggest recipes and use this as a bonding time to bake and cook with your son to make something both of you enjoy. OP didn't answer these questions, but other people did reply. He's also old enough to know that coffee cake and guacamole don't go together. I've got to suspect he's trolling people with recipes like that. Perhaps it was a pureed avocado in the cake itself? That doesn't sound as crazy. You're the a-hole. You lie to the 8-year-old who brings you weak coffee, burnt toast, and rubbery microwave eggs for breakfast. You don't lie to a 16-year-old about the quality of his cooking and baking. He's going to wonder why all the women he dates ghost him after the first time he cooks for them. You have to tell him. Buy him a recipe book and teach him the value of following it to learn basics. Salt, fat, acid, heat would be a good one that teaches some fundamentals about food combinations for the experimental types. If he stops because the truth is hard after being lied to, maybe consider using the money you're saving by not throwing food away to pay him to clean the kitchen. There is also loads of instructional videos on YouTube and elsewhere online that teach cooking skills. OP should offer suggestions to help him improve on something he enjoys. Posted by user NormalGrowth9, titled, "Would I be the a-hole if I told my brother-in-law to go have kids of his own?" So, my brother-in-law was married for 8 years and got a divorce because his wife changed her mind about having kids. This really hurt him because he really wanted to be a father with the right woman, and now he's back to square one. My wife and I have 3 kids, and lately my brother-in-law has been injecting himself into our daily lives. For example, he asks to let him know when they have a game so he can attend, and offers to help them with homework. My wife doesn't mind having him around, and our sons enjoy his visits. It's annoying because there are times when I just want to be with my kids, and he just always is around playing dad. It's not that I'm jealous, but I find it a bit pathetic. I thought about telling him that I'm sorry his wife burned him on having kids, but my kids don't need a pseudo-dad, and he needs to get his kids of his own. Edit, he actually lives with us. He moved into a guest house after the divorce. It's like a really bad sitcom. You're the a-hole. I get it. The dude needs boundaries. Have a genuine talk with him and your wife about maybe setting up times where he can come over. But it sounds like you're literally pissed that he's a loving uncle. Wait a minute. How exactly does he need boundaries? My aunts and uncles came to a lot of my games and helped me with my homework. He's welcomed by the wife and sons, so it's not even like he's there more than he's welcome for. The only one with the boundary issues seems to be OP, and it's an issue that he thinks this is a boundary issue to put between loving family members. You're the a-hole. Rather than considering that this situation has nothing but benefits for everyone involved, your wife seems to enjoy it, the kids get another good relationship with an adult who loves them and clearly enjoys them, and your brother-in-law has someone to love and help nurture, you are instead focused on the fact that you're annoyed. This is not about you, get over yourself. You're the a-hole. I don't see anything in your post that indicates that he's overstepping boundaries or invalidates your parenting. He just spends time with your kids, and if you want to reduce it, you could just give him a heads up that today you have something planned with them on your own. None of all that pseudo-dad and get your own kids nonsense. Also, sit your ass down and give it a good thinking what your problem with your brother-in-law is. I don't know how old he is, but he's probably confronted with the possibility that he won't ever have kids, plus he got divorced, and you yourself said that it really hurt him. Okay, so he is overcompensating a little, but why do you have to be so harsh about it? You could just talk to him and show a little compassion, but instead you're super offended. Posted by user Primrose Eden, titled, "Am I the a-hole for telling my son I don't think him and his girlfriend are going to last? I, female 45, have 2 sons. One is 20 and one is 18. This is regarding my oldest son. He's currently at university studying medicine, but is home at the moment studying online. He's been in a relationship with a girl from his university city since last December, and they seem really in love, but I do have my concerns. I think a further education is crucial, and my son's girlfriend didn't even finish high school. She's in a good job as she has her own business, but it concerns me. She seems to distract him a lot. But my son claims she massively motivates him and tells him to get his work done, especially at the moment whilst they're long distance. She also isn't from an ideal family situation, as she was born out of wedlock and has separated parents. Yesterday, my husband came downstairs and told me he could hear our son on the phone to his girlfriend. They call at least twice a day for at least an hour each time. I went upstairs and asked him if he was talking to her, and he said they had just finished. I told him I didn't think they would last until the end of the lockdown, and that maybe he should consider just being friends with her at the minute so he can focus properly. I don't disapprove of her, but in all honesty, she isn't what I planned for my son. She seems like a lovely girl, but her lack of education does worry me. My son has been furious with me as he told his girlfriend what I said, and it really upset her. My husband has also said that I need to keep my nose out of my son's business, as he's 20 now. Am I the a-hole for telling him that they won't last? Edit, I do not appreciate the direct messages I have received telling me obscene things. I have spoken to my son and apologized. However, I will not change my mind until I have met his girlfriend. I have found out that she was actually on the phone whilst I was talking to him, and she heard the entire thing, which is why she was so upset. She's a great girl, and I'm sure I will like her once I've met her. You're the a-hole. He got into med school. I'm sure he can decide what is best for his time management. If you don't like her because you think she's underachieving, at least have the courage to say that to your son, rather than going on about what you think his priorities should be. Maybe you should ask him some questions about her and learn to understand what he sees in her, instead of trying to manage your son like a horse breeder. The only reason she has for not approving of the girlfriend is that 1, she has ADHD, and 2, her parents didn't even know each other when she was conceived. This person is so much of an a-hole, it's getting hard to believe they aren't just a troll. Imagine thinking you're better than literally anybody else for no reason other than the fact that you're a doctor. This is going to be some r/just no mother-in-law material for the girlfriend, and I apologize for deleting all my just no mother-in-law videos. Sorry guys, there's a bit of heat going on there. Edit, it gets worse. She also despises the girlfriend for not aspiring to be a fellow doctor. She's financially independent at 21, owns her own house, and makes lots of money at her business/job, and for not being of a similar religious background. Gag. For the sanity of the son, I hope they get married, and she never gets to see any grandbabies. I can't imagine having to put up with a mother-in-law like this. Edit, additional edit to correct my incorrect use of doctorate, replaced with the terms OP uses herself in various comments. You're the a-hole. She isn't what you planned for my son? Are you bloody kidding me? Right? Better put more clay into the perfect sun mold, because this one came out a human being with thoughts and, well, feelings and ambitions of his own. Might get a different result on the next go. Hey, let's do it. You're the a-hole. You yourself stated she does well for herself with her own business, and he says that she motivates him to do well in school. He's happy. I really don't see what the issue is here. OP better enjoy this time with her son now, because she probably isn't going to see much of him when he leaves home. And yeah, I think I agree with the sentiments shared in this one. She definitely is the a-hole in this post. My mum would never say that kind of crap to me. Like, what kind of sane person is like, oh, yep, that's not the right person for you. I am the judge, jury, and executioner. I decide who you get to be with. No, piss off. You're not my parent anymore. That's a bannable offense. I would cut them off for like 5 years and be like, you have time to cool off there, buddy. I'm gonna go hang out with them, make my life better. Anyway, that's my tipsy Markee thoughts. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Tell me what you thought of it. I'm gonna throw you to outro Markee. He's probably gonna say the same things. Sorry about that. G'day there guys, outro Markee here. Hope you enjoyed the episode as much as I enjoyed making it today. If you did, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you thought about it down below. Also, if you like memes, be sure to head on over to my second channel, Markee2. It should be one of the sexy Australian faces on screen, the one without the flag. It's my latest and greatest creation, and I hope you like it. Also, I'd like to give a huge shout out to my channel members and Patreon subscribers. You guys do so much good for me, and the support goes without saying, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I love you guys, and I appreciate all the help and support you provide me on this channel. Also, if you want to join the family, links are down in the description below, or click that join button next to the subscribe button. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed that one today. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.